High Commissioner Dran Velour gazed down from his crystalline podium at the Grand Chamber of the Galactic Council. His iridescent scales shimmered with barely concealed amusement as he regarded the human delegates below. Encased in primitive environmental suits, the humans appeared diminutive against the towering architecture of Valorian design. Their suits wheezed and hissed with each breath, a grating reminder of their biological inferiority. "And what makes you think," Velour began, his voice resonating through the chamber, "that your species deserves a seat on the High Council? You can barely survive in our atmosphere." The gathered Valorian dignitaries chittered with laughter. Their bioluminescent markings pulsed rhythmically with their amusement, some even flaring their neck frills in exaggerated displays of superiority. Ambassador Roland Martinez straightened inside his suit, the servos whining in protest. "With respect, High Commissioner, humanity has achieved faster than light travel in less than 3 centuries since discovering electricity." Velour waved a hand dismissively, sending ripples of light cascading through his ceremonial robes. "Your technological advancement proves nothing except desperation, a frantic attempt to catch up with civilizations like ours. The Valorian Dominion has guided galactic civilization for 50,000 years. We perfected quantum mechanics while your ancestors were still throwing spears." Laughter erupted again, but Martinez remained stoic. Beside him, Lisa Chen's knuckles whitened as she gripped the edge of the podium. "Perhaps the High Commissioner forgets," Chen interjected, her voice steady, "that humanity has already contributed significant advances in biotechnology and artificial intelligence to the galactic community." Velour's secondary eyes narrowed as his primary pair maintained their condescending gaze. "Ah, yes. Your crude attempts at genetic manipulation. Tell me, how many of your test subjects survived those early experiments? We have records, you know." The Valorian elite guard shifted their ceremonial weapons, their deadly energy cores pulsing just visibly enough to remind everyone of their power. The message was clear. Humans were tolerated, not respected. Velour continued, his tone dripping with satisfaction. "The Council's position remains unchanged. Humanity may continue as a protectorate species under Valorian guidance. Perhaps in a few thousand years, we might reconsider your petition. After all, we must ensure the cultural and technological purity of our grand civilization." Before Martinez could respond, Velour raised a hand for silence, his authority absolute. "This audience is concluded. Please try not to damage anything with your environmentally sealed footwear on your way out." As the human delegation was escorted from the chamber, Velour turned to his chief advisor, Nexus Ravan. "Send a message to the Cultural Preservation Committee. I want increased surveillance on all human archaeological activities. These primitives have been getting far too curious about our ancient sites." Ravan's scales shifted to a pattern indicating acknowledgement. "Do you truly think they could find anything of consequence?" Velour's laughter echoed through the now empty chamber. "Of course not, but it amuses me to watch them scramble around our ruins like insects. Besides," his voice lowered, "it's best to be cautious when dealing with lesser species. They can be so unpredictable." 3 months later, deep within an ancient Valorian temple on Proxima Centauri b, Dr. Maya Blackwood's helmet lights illuminated walls covered in flowing script. The Valorian guards assigned to watch her team looked bored, their scaled fingers drumming against their weapons. "Another dead-end human?" Sentinel Kraz sneered. "Perhaps you should stick to studying your own primitive history." Maya ignored him, running her scanner over the symbols. Something about them felt different from the modern Valorian writing system. The curves were softer, more organic, almost familiar. "Nathan," she spoke into her comms to her research partner in orbit, "these patterns don't match anything in the Valorian linguistic database." Her colleague's voice crackled back, running them through comparative analysis. "Wait, Maya, this is weird. The structural patterns show a 67% match with Sanskrit and Latin. That can't be right." Kraz pushed off the wall, his scales shifting to an irritated crimson. "What nonsense are you babbling about now?" Maya's hands trembled as she took another scan. "Nathan, what does this mean?" "It means," he replied, his voice tinged with disbelief, "this script might share a common origin with ancient human languages." The findings sent shockwaves through both human and Valorian communities. The ancient temple's inscriptions dated back 70,000 years, predating the rise of the Valorian Dominion. Further analysis revealed undeniable connections between the symbols and early human languages, sparking questions the Valorian leadership had long suppressed. High Commissioner Velour dismissed the discovery as human propaganda, but dissent grew within his own ranks. Lady Karen Velour, his youngest daughter, studied the evidence and declared publicly, "We aren't their superiors, we're their cousins." The revelation divided the Dominion. Younger Valorian generations demanded access to the newly uncovered truths, while the old guard fought to maintain their narrative of superiority. Meanwhile, human scientists and Valorian reformers worked together to piece together the ancient story their ancestors had tried to preserve. In a dramatic session of the Combined Sciences Council, Maya Blackwood and Karen Velour presented their findings. Holographic displays projected ancient symbols alongside human Sanskrit chants. To the astonishment of the audience, the symbols responded to the chants, pulsing with light in perfect harmony. The chamber erupted in chaos. Younger Valorian began chanting in the ancient tongue, their bioluminescent scales synchronizing in patterns unseen for millennia. The High Commissioner tried to restore order, but his authority crumbled as the truth became undeniable. The Valorian Dominion's claim to cultural and technological superiority was built on a foundation of lies. 3 months later, Velour Prime hummed with activity. Human and Valorian scholars worked side by side in newly established research centers. Ancient texts were being shared freely, and long-forgotten technologies were rediscovered. The once proud isolation of the Dominion gave way to a cultural renaissance. High Commissioner Velour, now humbled, addressed the Galactic Council. "We thought ourselves superior, but in truth we were incomplete. Humanity's determination has shown us what we had lost. Together we are not just stronger, we are whole." As the session concluded, the skies above Velour Prime shimmered with auroras created by the harmonics of ancient languages. Two civilizations, once divided by arrogance and time, stood united under the legacy of their shared ancestors, ready to face the future as one.